Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking through celebrity drugstore makeup favorites. I spent a lot of time researching drugstore products that celebrities are loving and raving about. And this idea kind of came from the Avene Sickle Fate, which is one of my all-time favorite products for just skin healing. I got this terrible burn on my arm and I've been using it on there. I've been using it on my husband when he gets sunburned, on my face when I get a rash. It's just one of my absolute favorite products, and it's a product that Hailey Bieber swears by. And that's where the idea of this video came from, is what do these people with infinite resources, with all the products they could ever want at their fingertips, what are they going to CVS and purchasing? Because that's interesting to me. You know that they're being sent every product under the sun, from La Mer to Dior to Chanel, Charlotte Tilbury. So they've got the products at their fingertips, but they're still choosing to go buy these super affordable products because they just love them that much. So I wanted to talk through some of the most popular celebrities at the moment and their top drugstore picks. So if you're interested in seeing, then just keep on watching. All right, first up, for all my One Tree Hill lovers, Sophia Bush stated that she uses the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This is, of course, one of my absolute favorite brow pencils. I have the shade Taupe, and actually with my new hair color, this might be a little bit too light, but we're gonna try it out. I love that One Tree Hill had kind of like a rebirth on TikTok with the younger generation. I remember watching that show live, that one and the OC. Those were like two of my all-time favorite shows, but I actually liked One Tree Hill better. Always thought Sophia Bush was so beautiful. She still is. And she loves a good drugstore brow pencil, so we love to hear it. The first main benefit of this brow line is at the drugstore, it's actually really difficult to find brow shades that are more than blonde, brunette, dark brunette. Like, it seems like those are the three options with a lot of drugstore brow pencils, but NYX has a ton of different shades. Whether you have auburn hair or blonde hair, cool toned, warm toned, they have something for you. And I think that's where like a company like Anastasia Beverly Hills became so popular, is because they accommodated every undertone there is, but then NYX did it too. This is one of those places you don't need to splurge, and Sophia Bush says so. And this wasn't in the answers, but I'm putting a little bit of my e.l.f. Wow Brow on top just to give it that texture. Okay, next up, the woman of the hour, Sophia Richie. I don't know if that's still her name. I think she might have, I don't know if she combined her last name with her husband's or if she's still going by Sophia Richie, but if you're not on TikTok, you may not know that she has gone completely viral on TikTok as like the latest it girl, and she shared all of her get ready with me videos leading up to her wedding. She had a beautiful wedding, and she shared her get ready with me for like the rehearsal, the meet and greet, and all her outfits and her makeup. And I would say 90% of the makeup she used was more kind of high-end makeup. But there was a couple of drugstore products, this one being the main one that she said that she swears by over the high-end options that she has at her fingertips. And it was the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. She said it smells like a dream, which is true, and it just blends beautifully. One thing I noticed about her makeup is that it's very minimal. So I think we've gotten used to, through social media, through YouTube, seeing people just layer on tons of makeup, particularly for events, like for a wedding, for a rehearsal dinner. You kind of expect to see, you know, step after step after step, liquid contour, powder contour, but she wore almost no makeup, like a surprisingly tiny amount of makeup. She didn't even wear mascara most of the time. She was just wearing basically a tint to make her eyelashes more visible. So I think this bronzer really fits her vibe, which is minimal, understated makeup, because this is a really soft, buttery bronzer. It really is great for not overdoing it. This one's pretty warm toned. This is just the shade bronzer. I love a good warm bronzy look, so I like this color, and this also has a tiny bit of a sheen in it. Definitely not, I wouldn't call it shimmery, but it has a sheen. They also have the Matte Manoy bronzer if you don't want any sheen to your bronzer, but this isn't shimmery. You can see, like, it doesn't look like a highlighter. It just looks healthy and not too flat. All right, next up is Madison Bailey. If you're not familiar with her, she's in the really popular show called Outer Banks. It's on Netflix. I didn't personally have the stomach for that show. I know it's really popular, people love it, but I'm very I don't know what it is about me, but I'm very sensitive when it comes to shows. Like I can't watch anything with a lot of violence, especially towards like children and women. That's a trigger for me. My husband knows it. So he'll turn on a show and be like, oh, this looks so good. And then within the first episode, something happens to a child or to a woman and he's like, oh, dang it. And we turn it off and he watches it on his own. So I watched Outer Banks for a while, and then there was a scene with a son and a dad in the car, and I was like, I'm out and I'm not gonna watch this show. From what I've seen and what I've heard, it's a great show. But Madison Bailey is one of the stars in the show, and this is the eyeliner she swears by. The Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Eyeliner. That's what we're gonna be using today. I think I'm gonna throw a little bit of like bronzer, this Physicians Formula bronzer in my crease first. You can kind of see the sheen a little bit more when I use it as an eyeshadow. And I'm just gonna be messy with it, focusing it on the outer corner and sort of stopping short of the end of my eye, so it kind of gives a lifted effect. And then I'm just gonna take like an angled brush, and before it fully sets, start smudging it out and pulling it up a little bit more. And that just gives like a really soft, lifted wing. Let me know in the comments if you guys watch Outer Banks and if you think I'm a total wuss for not being able to handle that show. If it tells you anything, my favorite show of all time is New Girl. When it comes to more serious shows, like I really liked The Diplomat. That was like interesting and, you know, suspenseful. It didn't cross the line. I would say my favorite show of the entire year is Shrinking on Apple TV. That show is incredible. If I had to describe, I don't know what the genre is of Shrinking, but that is perfect. That is a great show. All right, I'm happy with how that turned out. This was actually really easy to blend. I haven't done that with this formula before, like pulled it out into a little bit of a wing, and I'm happy with the way that that turned out. All right, next up we have mascara, and I saw some articles say that she used the pink kind and some articles say that she used the black kind. I just have the pink kind, so that's what we're gonna be using. But this is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. This is one of my all-time favorite mascaras, and it turns out it is Meghan Markle's favorite mascara. I know she's a very divisive person right now. You either love her or you hate her. I loved her in Suits. That's another show that I absolutely loved. But I will say she's got great taste in mascara. That's all I know. And as another mother with 2 little ones, I just hope nothing but the best for those kids. This mascara is just so good. All right, I just put on some of this Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Bear to Comet. This has been a favorite of mine forever. I'm just gonna smudge it out. This wasn't one of the products. This next product was the #1 product I found when doing research for this video. Like if you Google drugstore makeup that celebrities love, this is everywhere. And what sealed the deal for me is one of my absolute favorite celebrities has this in her makeup drawer. She took a picture of her makeup drawer and shared it, and this was at the top of the drawer. And it's the Burt's Bees Lip Balm. All right, I'm sitting right here editing this video and realizing I just said one of my favorite celebrities uses this chapstick. I never actually said her name, and it's Blake Lively. According to a bunch of different interviews with celebrity makeup artists, interviews with celebrities, for some reason, Burt's Bees lip balms were the #1 most mentioned drugstore product. I know I've had these before. I think I've had the tinted version before, but I just got the clear kind. This has vitamin E and peppermint, and I'm just gonna use this over top of this lip liner. And feels very nourishing. It doesn't give you like a ton of shine, so it's not gonna be like a lip oil or anything like that, but if you wanna add a little bit of extra hydration without shine, this would be a really good product. Or just having a chapstick in your purse. But Burt's Bees lip products apparently have the celebrity's heart. Okay, and then I looked into just some like body care products, and there were a few that stood out to me that I'm not gonna be applying because I was like, really? The first was one of Selena Gomez's favorite products is the Biore Pore Strips. I guess I just didn't see that coming. I'm not a fan of those personally. I think they're really, really stripping. All the dermatologists I've ever talked to say that that's like a very temporary fix. You can do that and it'll clear out your pores, but then they're just gonna fill right back up. You're much better off using like salicylic acid, glycolic acid, lactic acid to clear out your pores and keep them clear. I sort of picture it like if you have a glass sitting outside and it's raining and the glass fills all the way up and you walk out there and you pour it out and then you sit it back down. And it's like, well, it's just gonna fill up again. Versus walking out there like putting an umbrella over top of the glass so that it never gets full again. Such a weird metaphor, but that's sort of how I think of the Biore strips. Like if you're in a pinch, you're going to a red carpet, I can see using one of those if it doesn't irritate your skin, but not for like a long-term solution. So I was surprised to see that. But the most surprising one for me was Gigi Hadid said that one of her absolute favorite drugstore products is the St. Ives apricot scrub. One of the products that I always see going viral as like, do not purchase this. Dermatologists say like steer clear of the St. Ives scrubs. I guess if you're using on your body, it's okay, but definitely not on your face. Those are super, super harsh. So those were a couple of products that I did not want to pick up, but I thought I'd mention because they really stuck out to me. But the last product we're going to be talking about is a Jennifer Lopez staple. Her makeup artist uses this on all the red carpets to get her like J-Lo glow that she's known for. And you'd think it was an oil, you'd think it was a lotion, but it's not. It's a sunscreen. It's the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Body Mist. It comes in a bunch of different strengths. I got 70 because I'm actually gonna use this on my husband. Now I know that this same brand was involved in the contamination of sunscreens. I don't know, was that last year or the year before? But I personally am not gonna let that scare me off of using those brands again, because the way I see it is that the brands that were involved in that are the brands that are now meticulously testing their sunscreens because they learned their lesson. That's the way that I choose to see it. So I'm gonna see if this gives me the glow that it gives J-Lo. I'm just gonna spray some on my chest. Oh, wow, yeah, this is very glowy. Yeah, it's just like a really natural, healthy glow. You see like this shoulder compared to this shoulder? This just looks like the sun's hitting it and it's reflecting. See why he uses that. How creative can makeup artists be? That's impressive. All right, and that is everything. I thought this was a really fun video to film. It was really fun doing the research and seeing what these people with infinite resources are buying at the drugstore. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Maybe you wanna see a part 2, let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video.